All right, so let's continue. Settings view, settings screen here. So we have a top bar, and for a top bar, we're going to use, we're going to use our weather app bar. There it is, has our controller, nav controller that is, and before that, let's go ahead and pass a few other arguments. So title, set that to settings, and icon, is main is going to be just false because it's not the main screen. All right, now inside of our scaffold, this is where we're going to create this structure here. As you see, there isn't that much. Okay, so let's go ahead and put together the structure. Surface, max width, max height, then I'm going to add a column here, add a vertical arrangement, center, alignment, center horizontally, and I'm going to add a text. Let's change. Modifier. Padding bottom. I'm just going to give about 15 dp. Very good. Then after our text, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add let's go ahead and add this button here. So this is actually going to be a different kind of button called icon toggle button. So let's go ahead and add that real quick. I'm going to create later a state variable that will allow us to toggle it back and forth, right? So I'm going to say unit toggle state as such. We haven't created, and then on change here, we're going to do some work. Let's go ahead and create this unit toggle there. So again, it's going to be a stateful or a state, right? So I'm going to create at the top here. Right, now I have to import a few things. There we go. And I can also put that in single lambda. And then here I'm going to create a list of two strings called val measurement units list of. First of all, it's going to be imperial. Put F like this to signify Fahrenheit, and metric C for Celsius. And because this will toggle back and forth between Celsius and Fahrenheit, I need to add another state here called choice state, which we'll see in a second. And let's say choice state so if I remember to facilitate everything, immutable state of, it's going to be a string. All right, now let's go back here. Now you can see that all looks much better. So what is it I want to do? Well, on checked change, meaning once we click, we're checking, right? We're changing the state of our icon toggle button, right? And we're toggling back and forth depending on the state of our toggle state unit there. So inside here, we're going to get a Boolean, as you see, IT there. So we're going to check, we're going to do something here. So first, actually, I'm going to say unit toggle test. I'm going to set that to the opposite of IT, right? So toggling back and forth. So unit toggle test. Let's say, why doesn't it like it? I changed to var, right? So because we're changing it, it's fine. And then I'm going to put an if statement here that I'm going to say unit toggles test state, that is, if it's true, then I am going to say choice state, set that to the actual value, which is going to be imperial f like this. Let's also make this a var because we're changing that variable. And then else, I'm going to make sure that our choice state value is, in this case, metric. So put this in a new line. So I'm going to say metric C like that. Let's not forget to finalize our else if. Alright, so now inside here, this is where I'm going to create this structure. Of course, inside I can create a text and so forth. So before that, let's modify a few things for our toggle button there. Modifier, fill, max width, and I'm going to put a fraction to say I want this to shrink using this fraction here, 0.5 f, right? The width in this case. And then I'm going to clip, pass a shape to say what shape I want this to look or to have. It's going to be rectangle. Rectangle shape. And then padding, it's going to be about 5 dp. And then background, let's say color, magenta. And pass alpha, 0.4f. Alright, just to change things a little bit, to give this color there. In fact, if you don't like this color, you can pass in any other color. That's fine. Alright, and let's see what else we need to do. Now we're going to add the actual text, right? See, looks like all this, remember, need more to be imported. Let's do that. Alright, so let's click here. I'm going to just add a text. And for this text here, what I want to do now, I'm going to check, because depending on how this works, whether we clicked first time or second time, we want to toggle between Celsius and Fahrenheit, right? That's the idea. So I'm going to put an if statement here. I'm going to say if, actually has to be inside there. So if unit toggle state is true, then I'm going to say Fahrenheit. I think that's how you spell it. Put F like this. Else Celsius. So it has to be inside like that. Okay, so the idea is that when we click, of course, the toggle state will change along, right? So if in this case the if our unit toggle state is true, then choice is going to be imperial, else is going to be metric. So that's what we're doing here. So if it's imperial, that means it's Fahrenheit. If it's not, which means it's metric, Celsius. Okay, that's what we are trying to get there. All right, let's go ahead and run this real quick. All right, let's go to settings. I'm on my phone here. All right, there we go. So if I click, all right, it's changing back and forth, Fahrenheit, Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius. Very good. So that's exactly what we want, and it's working.